What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a home workout today, so I'm not going to be going to the gym. It is pretty crappy out, but today we're going to be getting it in at the house, and then I'm also going to be making up some coconut curry stir fry and also some quinoa as well. So that's going to be super delicious, and I'm going to be making that up so that after everything is ready to go, I'm gonna be eating that, and then also I'm gonna be making some other food like a smoothie recipe and a little bit of a home workout as I work through the day. I got my computer set up over here, so I'm doing a little bit of work. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys like a good daily routine that I always go through, and also make some fun, delicious meals with you guys. We're also gonna be doing a workout, just a quick workout. I got some bands, a 35-pound weight, and some other stuff, just a foam roller to do some stretching and stuff like that. And then I'm going to also get some work in on my computer. So I'll show you guys a little bit of what I do behind the scenes. Let's get it. Alright, so I just got my workout in. I just did some curls, some lat pull downs with some bands. Also did some more curls with some different bands as well. And that was pretty much it for the workout. I also did a few push-ups as well. Really just like 3 sets, 6 to 12 between a set. And really just trying to go to burnout. Not too big on like counting that kind of stuff yet. Really just going to the burnout and just trying to progress and get better every single day. So that's my real goal. And with that, I'm actually going to go and rehydrate. I have this water here, and then I also have a little spigot on my tap that I actually fill up. And it saves a ton of plastic, and it also saves a bunch of money. Water is life. Now that I'm done, I'm just gonna go take a real quick shower as I rehydrate, do some hygiene, and get to a little bit of computer work. And I'll kind of explain to you guys what I do for actual work, and how this is kind of just a passion of mine. It's something that I've been wanting to start for a while, but really haven't had the actual time to be able to put into this. And now that I'm able to make those lifestyle changes, buy things that I've built, I definitely want to be able to share those things with you guys so that you guys can too create something that is going to help you guys, like create revenue. So that way you guys can kind of do what you want to do. And as you guys will see here, I'm not here to like push out a bunch of stuff to you guys, but I do want to just show you guys and showcase kind of the work that I've been doing for the past 5 years or 6 years, how that's able to create my lifestyle and everything like that. So that being said, I'm gonna go take a quick shower, put on some comfy clothes. I'm going to get to work. I'm also gonna be making a smoothie because I do like to do those right after I work out just to refuel, but I'm gonna go take a quick 5-minute shower. All right guys, so I just got out of the shower and now I'm gonna clean up all this stuff behind me. Also, the other day I had already pretty much pre-cooked a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna throw in a few of those clips. I can show you guys exactly what I had put into this recipe, and then I'm gonna show you guys the finished product. So that's gonna be that. I'm gonna go clean up now. All right, so now that everything is clean and ready to go, I'm going to start to heat up some of those leftovers that I had from the other day. And I'm also gonna make a really great smoothie as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's get it. For this recipe, I got some OJ here. This is, Uncle Matt's organic OJ. This one's pretty good. It's fortified with like vitamin D, some calcium, a little bit of zinc, and it also has obviously a ton of vitamin C. Then we have next just some great value organic cherries. So these are the dark sweet pitted cherries. These are really good. So I'm gonna have about a cup of this, about 8 ounces of OJ, and I'm also gonna be throwing in this Sun Warrior protein. I love this brand. This brand has other flavors as well. I don't like vanilla or things like that inside of like fruit smoothies and stuff, so I like to get the unflavored or the natural brand. Some people think this is nasty, some people don't, some people love it, so it's all up to you. You guys can try this brand. I actually put a link down in the description for this brand where you guys can find it on Amazon, but this is the Sun Warrior protein blend. And then if you guys can see up here as well, it also has a lot of great proteins in it. So 28 grams of protein, 6 grams of BCAAs, and also your MCTs for optimal brain health. As you guys can see here, it has the entire amino profile. This one is actually a blend of pea protein, so a blend of organic hemp seeds, and then they also even put a little bit of goji berry in this as well. So a lot of antioxidants in this shake, and this is how I like to make it. Now sometimes I'll do green smoothies, I'll do other smoothies like that, but for today I'm going to throw this up in the blender, which is again just an Oster blender. I'll put a link down on the description for all this stuff, so you guys can find all this stuff easily on Amazon. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get it all blended up. And 1.5 scoops of this. I do like, you guys can also just have 1 scoop if you want. I like 1.5 to get my max value out of this. And since I have them, I'm actually gonna throw in a banana just for some extra potassium. These are just some organic bananas, as you can see. If I don't use them, they're gonna go bad, so I might as well throw them into this smoothie. Guys, I'm actually gonna add some chia seeds just because I have these. Now I actually ground these up inside of the blender, or you can do it in a food processor, whatever. I just toss them in the blender, ground them up, and then put them back inside the package. When you guys chew flax seeds or chia seeds, you really want to be able to chew them well, and it also helps with digestion when you do that. Instead, what I do is I just grind them up, and that actually helps with absorption and other things like that. And as you guys know or do not know, these are high in your omega-3s and other fatty acids like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a few tablespoons in here. And look at this smoothie. Actually, I'll bring it up here so you guys can see. This smoothie is delicious looking. All right, so let's try this smoothie. So good. The cherry and the banana together is delicious. Another one that I really like is strawberry banana. That one's also really delicious. This is really high in like antioxidants, those dark cherries. Super, super good for you. Make sure if you guys are gonna be getting certain things that are like thin skin or things that you throw in smoothies whole like that, but they are organic. You guys can look up the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. It's basically just something, and I'll try to put a link to that as well down below, but it's basically just something that I learned in culinary school. You know, this stuff is really, really bad for you if you're eating it direct. Like, you know, for instance, certain melons with thick skins, you can kind of get away with not organics, which is still an iffy subject, but if you're trying to save an extra penny or two, then that can kind of actually help you do that. And then just try to get things organic that you're eating direct, like leafy greens. You know, it's really thin skin and you're not like peeling it or anything, you're eating it just straight out of the thing. And obviously you can wash it off, but a lot of pesticides you don't just wash off. And also a lot of other vegetables you want to peel as well, just because they actually are packaged with like a waxy coating over them sometimes, and it's just really gross. So With that being said, that's definitely something that you guys are going to want to do, but this smoothie is delicious. Something about these smoothies too, I always feel so friggin' energized after I drink these things. I don't know, it's probably a little bit of the sugar rush from all the fruit, which by the way too, if you guys don't want the fruit, someone showed me that you can just put water in these and the frozen fruit instead of like the OJ or apple juice or pineapple juice or something of that nature. Even though, just so you guys know, I'm vegan, so with that, I can actually have a lot of this stuff because I don't really get sugars and a lot of other things other than maybe like carbs and stuff like that. But sugar is not so much from carbs. I mean, it's from fucking bread or whatever, and just random things that I eat throughout the day, or even if it's just a little sugar in my coffee or something, even though I usually just drink black coffee sometimes. So let's actually go talk about my work. For my job, you guys are probably wondering, like, what do I do to be able to stay home all day? And I actually own an agency, so we're a marketing company and firm. We're based out of New York. And also, we kind of spawned from New Hampshire. That's actually where I'm from, where I live. Now, we actually have people all over. We have someone in Arizona, which is actually, he's moving over to Maine, so he's a pretty cool kid. Maybe I'll get him on the channel one day. He actually runs our company. His name is Eric Emino. He's a super cool guy. He runs the company as the CEO. From there, we have some other people that basically do the actual work. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with what drop shipping is. Drop shipping is the act of basically customer buys a product from, say, like Amazon or something like that. And, the customer doesn't actually have the product. They just buy it from somewhere like Costco and ship it direct to your house. So they don't actually have any of the supply and stuff like that. And there's also like 3 other models that you guys can do for drop shipping. But this is more of like drop servicing in a sense. We've actually been able to acquire a team in Florida so that they are able to do the work. They have the support. They have people with 10 plus years experience doing the work. So they also have high tiers of people in their company that do the day-to-day grind. So that leaves us with pretty much finding the customer. And so we actually have teams of people that are able to go out there and get the customers and then forward them to these teams. And then Eric actually kind of just brings all the parties together and makes sure that our core vision as a company is therefore put out to the people and customers and prospects and stuff like that, and clients. That's pretty much what I do. So now for the past 5, almost 6 years now, I've been actually building up this company to be able to use that as a muse. Although it is my passion, I do love building companies and I love helping people out. So that kind of solves both of those issues. What I really, really love to do is a few different things. So I love to camp, I love hiking, and I love cooking food. So before this, I was actually a chef. I made it all the way to sous chef. I worked for an Italian restaurant in Colorado at the time. And so that was another thing. I also went to a bit of culinary school. I kind of left culinary school early because I actually started getting a good job and good pay through what I was doing. And I kind of went more the experience route. So I love doing that. I love hiking in the White Mountains and other places and traveling and stuff like that. And also I'm vegan, so that might be an interesting take for you guys, especially coming from, a cook's background. I can tell you guys a lot of great recipes, and I can also help you guys out. If you're vegan too, I really definitely want to help you guys out. I'm going to be coming out with a bunch of free material I'm going to give you guys for that, and how I calculate, because I calculate like my macros and stuff like that. So I'm going to get into a little bit of nutrition with you guys. And I'm by no means a nutritionist, scientist, anything like that, no way. But I am a normal person. So with that, I'm gonna be able to help, the normal people go more plant-based, or even just encourage people to eat more plants in their diet. Doesn't mean you have to go strictly vegan. I do it for many other reasons, whether it's like health benefits, helping the earth, or just doing things like that, because I truly do believe I should leave this planet on a higher ground than when I left it, right? So I really do want to show you guys kind of my passions, and I go really into depth with my passion and activism and stuff like that as well. So I kind of want to show you guys that side of my life. I've never actually had a channel. I've always been just like head down 18 hours a day, you know, keyboard warrior style stuff. And before this, I was actually in much better shape. And over the past like 5 years since I've started my company, one of the things was that my health kind of negatively declined a bit from, you know, just sitting. You know, if you're sitting for 8 hours a day, it's almost worse than smoking cigarettes. So, you know, if you're going to be doing that, you definitely want to be like working out and other stuff like that. So I'm also learning as I go, but I want to be kind of just showing you guys what I'm doing, and hopefully that helps one of you guys. So that's what this channel is all about, and that is kind of what I do for work and everything like that. And now for work, I just sit and study my passion. And then the last thing that I'm actually going to be doing is going to be showing you guys a garden. So I used to work for a big greenhouse and also a farm as well. So in our culinary school, we did a lot of farm to table stuff as well. So I'm really excited to show you guys what I have going on. And this year I'm actually starting my garden with COVID-19 and everything, and travel restrictions and everything like that. I haven't really traveled much like outside of the States or anything in the past like year or two. So this year coming up, it is actually you know, getting into December here, or getting into like January and all that stuff, and Christmas is coming up, so it's cold here in New England. I don't have a giant greenhouse. Even I don't really have a big backyard. I actually live in Derry. So Derry is like the 4th largest city, I guess, in New Hampshire. Still, New Hampshire is small. But I have a tiny little yard, and I'm going to be growing food within a small urban space. So I'm really excited to show you guys what I'm going to be doing in that space and how I can bring that to my table and eat bountifully. I don't even know if that's a word. I just fucked that up. I want to eat a bunch of food and be nice, full, and happy, and getting good organic produce. In New Hampshire, there's a lot of farmers markets and stuff like that, but the other thing is that there's just not a lot of great produce in the stores, and also too, certain shortages happen and you can't get things. So that's going to be supplementing me going to the store. So with that, I'm excited to bring everything full circle for you guys, and I really want you guys to sit back and enjoy this channel. Alright guys, it's time to get cooking. So I'm just going to chop up about a cup of each of these vegetables. So I got a cup here of cauliflower, maybe a little bit more. Threw some in the freezer as well. And this is going to be a large white onion. So I'm just going to chop this in half, cut it one way, the long way, and then I'm also going to cut it the shorter way. And what that's going to do is allow me to dice this very quickly. I'm going to toss that up into the bin and move on to the next set of vegetables. So right here I've got some stuff that I pulled out of the freezer and the fridge. I'm just going to throw in a cup of some sweet peas, and also throw in a cup of chopped carrots. First I'm just going to dice off the ends, or hack off the ends here, and then I'm going to just peel it real quick because I don't like that waxy coating that they usually ship stuff with. And then I'm also going to just give this a rough chop here. I try to make sure all the pieces are about the same size, so that way it cooks evenly. I'm just going to throw a thing of organic chopped spinach. That'll be about a cup, and also a cup of some frozen broccoli, which I had cut up from before in another dish. I just bag them up and then throw them in the freezer. I'm also going to press out this tofu block and chop it the long way and the short way again to also dice this thing up. Now I'm going to throw this into the pot here, and also I'm going to squeeze about a cup of that because I do like the texture that that adds. And then I'm just going to throw about 2 cups of chopped parsley, or cilantro rather. And also dice up some of these white potatoes, 2 in this case, just medium white potatoes. And that is going to make everything up. So I'm just gonna throw it in there and give it a quick shake. So as you can see, I've just stirred everything in the pot. All you have to do is just shake it kind of in this manner, and you'll get all the stuff stirred in this pot. And then now that I have all of this stuff stirred, I am going to toss it up in the pot over here, which I have set up. So just toss it in. And now that we got that started, the other thing that we want to do is just saute this for a minute. Next, we're going to be adding a can of no salt added diced tomatoes. This is the organic brand. And we also added a half a can of water. And then the other thing that we're going to be adding here is some organic vegetable broth. I want to add a half a can of this as well, because this is actually going to add flavors to the dish and a bunch of needed things as well. So I'm going to add that. And then also I had a can of coconut milk as well. And so coconut milk is actually going to really make or break this dish. Now I'm going to be making some quinoa to go with the shit that I have in the rice cooker. Instant Pot. It's not a rice cooker at all. Okay, so we're going to have some organic quinoa. And this quinoa is going to go inside of this little pot over here. And this is going to be 2 cups of liquid per cup of quinoa. So that's everything right there. And we are going to throw that up on the stove top. And as you guys can see up there, threw that up on the stove top. The next thing we're going to do here is throw a lid up on that. Gonna toss that lid up. And we're going to set a timer for 15 minutes, if we can find a phone.
15 minutes, start now.
Alright, so we got that set, and it's time to do a bit of cleaning. Alright, so I actually didn't talk about the spices that I used in this dish, so before I pull it out, I do want to just talk about these spices a little bit. This is actually gram masala. So gram masala has a very unique taste to it. Something close to this might be like allspice or maybe nutmeg or something of that nature, but gram masala is a great thing when you're cooking like Indian dishes and stuff like that. And also I have a little bit of ground turmeric, so I always put a little bit of that in there as well. Now the twin pillars, which is going to be garlic powder and onion powder, and then also a little bit of cumin as well. So this is just some regular cumin spice. And I also like to use a little bit of curry. I think I actually used it all when I was cooking, but I do like to use a little bit of curry as well, curry powder. And it's about a tablespoon of each one of these that I put into the dish. And I put a little extra gram masala in there just because I like that a lot. And then I put a, salt and pepper to season it to the taste that I like. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so that makes up the spices that go into this dish. Now let's eat. So some other things that I'm going to throw in here is going to be some cilantro. And the other thing that we're going to be throwing in here is going to be some organic broccoli sprouts. Alright, so I'm done making this dish now, and obviously this is just a reheat from the other day, but I have my quinoa over here on this side, about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups. Probably not gonna have much grain later, maybe a little bit for the Thanksgiving. I have a little bit of extra stuffing left over, and then this is actually all of that goodness. So what you guys are seeing here is that chopped tofu the peas, the carrots, a little bit of onion, and just so many other great flavors. You guys scroll back in the video, obviously you'll see what I kind of threw in here. There's also some white potatoes that I chopped up. Now what I'm going to do is to add some color, because that's looking kind of boring. What I'm going to do is just add some of that, cilantro on there. And I'm also going to put these sprouts over here. And now this is optional, obviously, if you guys don't like spicy things. I actually made it not super spicy because my wife doesn't really like spicy things like that. But I really do. And so I like to top this off with a little bit of hot sriracha sauce. And as you guys can see, that looks delicious. So I guess it's time to dig in here. Make sure I get a little bit of everything on the spoon. Oh, that is so good and filling. That coconut milk in there for seasoning. You can taste the gram masala, which is delicious, and the quinoa is almost kind of sweet in a way, as well as like the tofu and stuff. All that stuff together is delicious. Even the carrots are a little bit sweet. You can really taste them when they are cooked in the Instapot. Man, those things are so great. And again, I'll put a link to the description of the one that I have. It's like the knockoff version of an Instapot, but it literally does the same thing. So you guys will save like 30-40 bucks there. But man, even the tofu, it really soaks up all that flavor. And it's just so good. So freaking good. This is to die for, especially when it's a cold and rainy day like it is outside today. We got the rain going. It's probably like 30-40 degrees out. Well, obviously not 30 degrees or else it would be snowing, but it's probably it's down there. It's in the low 40s, maybe high 30s. There's even a little broccoli in here, and the tomato and the coconut cream together, plus all those spices, is just mind-boggling. I remember my first time trying like Indian style food, and man, that was something that my taste buds have always been missing. Another thing that would go good with this would be a piece of bread. They have naan bread, which naan, or I'm probably saying it wrong, but whatever. Naan bread is basically, traditionally it's like a flat roll, almost like a pita bread, and then they stick it to what's called a tandoori. So tandoori is like a clay oven, and they'll stick it up into that oven, and it only takes about a minute or two to really cook that. And then when they pull it out, they put ghee, which is a clarified butter. So they basically just take the milk fat out of the butter, and they also use garlic. Now obviously, if you're vegan, you can just have vegan butter, which is probably what I would do. But man, is that stuff good. And it's another thing you can add to this dish to kind of soak up all that goodness. I have a lot of quinoa in here, so that'll probably soak it up. Alright, so I just finished up everything, and I wanted to leave you guys with this. So you guys could do a few things to help me out. Is number one, definitely subscribe to the channel if you got value. And also, if you guys got value in this video, Definitely drop a comment with a timestamp of when you guys got the most value from this. And I would love to make more content geared around you guys and help you guys out more and more and more. So with that being said, everybody, have a good rest of your day or night wherever you're tuning in from. And I hope to see you all on the next video. Peace out.